Hi, everybody. I'm Trin Johnson, and welcome to Dust in My Eye. If you like this video, please hit the like button. And if you want to see more of my videos, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to be notified of any future videos, hit that cute little bell. In today's video, I am going to be working with charcoal and watercolor and some colored pencil and a black Stabilo pencil, possibly, and maybe some white gouache. And I was inspired to do this video by watching a video by Ellen Creamy Trent, and she did abstract buildings and just abstracts, and it was really cool and got me thinking. So then I went looking to see what else you could do, and I ran into a video by Paul Apps, and he did a bumblebee, and it was very loose and very cool, and I thought, okay, that looks like fun also. So I thought I would try my hand at doing some of those, and I am going to start with my daughter's cat, one of her kitties, Edward, with Edward's face, and do a little cat sketch. And then I am going to go to a slightly larger piece of paper and do a an owl. So before we start working on the picture we're going to do, I am just going to play with different kinds of charcoal. I have Peel and Sketch charcoal pen or pencil, excuse me, from the General Pencil Company. And that makes a nice thick black mark. I have some vine charcoal, which is a really light, soft charcoal, and that makes a big, thick black mark. I have a charcoal pencil, compressed charcoal. It's hard, and it makes a skinnier line, but it's a little bit lighter. Then I have these big block of charcoal. Let's see what that does, just for the sake of argument. So let's wet these and see what we get real quick here. And that's the pencil. And this is the vine charcoal, which you can see it kind of resists the water. And this is the charcoal pencil, which does blend, but you still get that crisp line if that's the kind of thing you want. And then this is the sticks of charcoal, and that you almost lose the whole line, but you get a really nice dark bit of charcoal. Those are, what are they called? This is an old box. Charcoal. Weber Costello. I don't even know if they make these anymore, but somebody probably does. And they come like that. So that is what those were. You could also use a Conte crayon. These do similar things too. Compressed charcoal. We didn't do that one, did we? Let's see what this does. That's kind of nice too. It's kind of a nice mix between that one and that one, which was the peel off down charcoal pencil and the big soft stuff that was in that box that I just showed you. So that's kind of a nice touch. For this, what I'm doing right now, I might work with that a little bit, and I was working with the pencil before, so I might work with that too. So let's get started. This is a small pad of Fabriano 100% cotton watercolor paper. I will say that the pencil is not as messy. So if you're going to work with any of the sticks, you might want something to wipe your hands off with nearby. So this picture of Ed, or Edward, he's laying with his head, his little face flat on a blanket and looking super duper cute. So I'm going to start with this just because it's a little bit lighter. I don't want to get real carried away. I just want a really loose sketch of this kitty face. Not very centered. Let's see, right here. He's almost like a cartoon. You can erase a little bit too if you want to, if that's, what you're comfortable with. This does come off to a certain extent. We have his little eyes. He's a cute little kitty puss. He's got a little soul patch right under his lip that you can't see, like right under his little chinny here is black. And he's just a real cute little character. That's close enough. That's so that's basically roughed in. This is all dark. Okay, I'm going to put that away. Get this out and just hit the really dark spots. Okay. Set that aside for a few minutes. Might go back to some. And now I'm going to work with his face is in a gray, it's kind of grayed out. So I'm just going to gray down a blue, kind of a Payne's gray, and just get some of the shadows that way. It's a little more intense than what I want. A little bit lighter. Some shadow there. Oh, I knew I was going to do that. That was white in there. Oh well. Get carried away. I don't want to get hung up on details. I want to keep it as loose as I can. And I'm looking at this now, and I think I want his face a little longer. He's almost a cartoon of himself in this picture, the way he is elongated. So I'm just going to fudge with that a little bit. That's what's nice about this is you're really kind of not, perfection is not what we're trying to do. A little pink. Let that dry a little bit. Just using a dry brush. Give it some movement. Not worry about making a perfect likeness. Oh, I do want that white right there if I can get it. Okay. Oops, I want that to get mixed up with his eye. I'm going to do a real rough estimation of this blanket in front. I'm just going to pretend it goes back there too, because I did not, I don't want to make a specific background. I want to just, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to make the blanket go back there. All right. I think we're going to let that dry a little bit, and then we'll come back and we'll do some work on whiskers and details. But right now we're going to set them aside. And I'm going to get out my other paper. This one is Blick Cold Press 100% Cotton Block. And I'm going to switch my reference photo. This reference is from Pexels. So I just looked up owls and in flight, and I think, or just looked for the owls that were in flight. And you can go on and get any kind of bird that they have. And it's a free service. It's a free, I shouldn't say it's a free site. I don't know if everything is free. I think it sends you to other sites that you might have to pay for, but I generally stick to the free stuff. So that's what I'm going to work with today. You can just pick out any. I don't know if I can put this picture up, so I'm just going to go with what I've got, and feel free to find a picture on Pexels. You might find the one I used. You might find something you like better. I think it's Pexels. I will have that in the bottom underneath the video in the if you hit more, and then you can I'll know if that was correct, if that's what it was. So anyway, I am just going to really rough this in. He is a, I don't know what kind of owl he is, but he's got this sweetheart kind of head, long feathers off here, and then I think these are his furry little feet that are there, but I don't know enough about birds. I think I'm going to look at that closer. Definitely his furry little feet right here. So now, somebody who's a bird person might know how many exact feathers there's supposed to be there, and what kind of owl, and I really don't need to know that, because for my purposes, I don't need to know that, and I'm just going to try and, to the best of my ability, stay as loose as possible. All right, he's got some bigger feathers in the middle here, so let's just get some. All right. Now I'm going to start with some Aussie red gold and just come in the side in my loose bird. I want to add some of that in other places. Have a little burnt sienna. A little sepia. Trying to keep it loose and get some movement. Very, very light gray, kind of taupey. Now, he did some dripping, which is kind of fun too. Try and get these wings to drip for me. See if we can do something like that over here. Really want that dark there because that's where his little footsies are, for all it's worth. Okay, I think we're going to let him dry, set him aside. Oh, you know what? I'm going to get his little eyesies, oh, dark eyes. So those can dry too. Oh man, I need a little bit less water on my brush for that. There we go. And orange for his nice beak. Okay, Might give him a background. So he's looks more like he's flying in the air, but we're going to set him aside. And we're going to go back to Edward. And I'm going to change my photo again. There we go. Okay. And now with Edward, I am going to use my black Stabilo pen. It's a Stabilo All. And I am going to just darken up some things. Work on his nose a little bit. If you use one of these pencils, you got to keep in mind it is dark. Like when you wet it, it's going to be very, very dark. So you have to be really careful and not put water on it unless you want it really black and you know right where you're going to have it, because it is really, really dark. I don't think this is pencil here. I don't really want that. But it is right next to that pencil. See how dark that got when I just touch water to it. It just really, really darkens. So you got to be a little careful with these. They're a little tricky to work with that way. But they do give you a really nice black line. Okay. And I think I'm going to use white gouache instead of a gel pen. You could use a gel pen. I just never have a lot of luck with getting them to be as opaque as I would like them to be. I have a lot better luck with gouache. So I want just a little acknowledgement of his wispy fur. Because where his white fur meets his black fur, it's not a straight line ever on him. A little white on his nose. And then I want to make sure I've got it a really nice consistency for really skinny whiskers. What works really well for really skinny lines also is a, it'll come to me. I'll put it underneath. I don't have one here to show you either. It's a drafting pen that you fill, you can adjust how thick and thin it is, and it just works really nicely for really thin lines. It works really nicely to put masking fluid on, and it works really nicely for whiskers and things, but I just don't have one up here with me, or I would show it to you. And the name of it will come to me. But they make really nice skinny lines because you can adjust how thick you want it. Now, I don't need to get every whisker in. That would be a little hard to do and wouldn't necessarily read like I want it to. it shows up really nicely over the black. It's hard once it gets away from his face and it's not black anymore. And then it doesn't stand out as much. But it's okay. We could put a little white on our blanket too if we want, for the little light pink parts. But I think that I might just call that done. You could go on and fiddle with it some more, but I think he's cute the way he is. So for now, oh, I want to get some ears. Ear fur. Ruling pen. That's what they're called. They're called a ruling pen. I knew it would come to me. And they work really nicely anyway for this kind of thing. If you have one of those handy, you might look at trying playing with that a little bit. All right, before I mess them up, oh, wait a minute, let's get some. Just some little whiskeries there. Okay. So I'm going to sign that one and call him done. My little pussycat. I know what happens though whenever I paint one of my daughter's cats is then I have to paint his brother, Al. I have been here, done that. And Al's a little trickier because Al is solid black. And it's just a little harder to get him to get features on him because he's monochromatic. But whiskers will show up really good, except that I think his whiskers are black too. So probably not so much. Maybe highlights. I'll have to fool around with that. But anyway, let me just fiddle a minute with that some more. I like that. Okay, a little fur ball. Okay, let's see if we can go back to our owl. And he's still a little bit wet because I can tell this little guy right here. I'm just going to soak it up a little bit so he can dry because I don't want to mess it up. And let me switch this again. Okay. Now, this guy, I'm going to get out some colored pencils. They work the best over dark, but they are showing up a little bit. I just want to get the fuzziness. Of his face, because he's got really fuzzy face and he's got a really fuzzy side here too. His fuzzy feet. I'm gonna get some marks on here. And again, I'm going to get the Stabilo pencil. And a very delicate touch, I hope, with the water. I can't get that to... Oh, I know why I can't get that to draw on there, because I put colored pencil on there. Now it doesn't want to draw. It doesn't want to paint over the colored pencil. So that is definitely something to consider while you're doing this. Just try to darken its wings a little bit. It kind of looks like a phoenix all on fire, but I'm going to go back here because I did not quite do what I want. Nope, that's not doing what I want again. So here we go. Get some white gouache. And get this to do more what I want. Again, I am not going for realism here, and I am not trying to make a carbon copy of this beautiful bird. I am working on a more of a feeling. That's where his highlights are. Okay, let's give him a little highlights. I'm going to dip my Stabilo into the water and draw with it. Back to mark making. Okay. Close enough for fun. All right. Now I'm going to wet the page just a little bit here and there around him. Just get some atmosphere. I think this is Jane's Gray, which is a version of Payne's Gray. Jane's version, Jane, I wish I could remember her last name. I will write it in the description. It's a little bit bluer, I think. And I don't care if he bleeds up a little bit into my sky. That would be just fine by me. Let's see if we can encourage it a little bit down here. It's a little too white. What happens is it ends up being gray, and I don't really want it to be gray. So we'll see if that helps. It looks a little bit like he needs a haircut. And let's, just for funsies, do some spatter in our sky and see if we can make our bird merge with our sky a little bit. Now you could also add pastel to it to try and get it to do, you know, where you want it. The only problem with putting pastels on a painting is then you have a surface that you have to protect more than you would otherwise, because pastels like to rub off. And there really isn't any really good fixative, at least nothing I particularly like for an end product. I use fixative in the middle of my pastel work, but I don't use it as an end like product. So well, I think I'm going to call it quits for now and sign this one, and I hope that it encourages you to get out and try charcoal and watercolor, because I have had fun with it. I encourage you to watch both of those videos and check out what they did. This is different than what they did, both of them, but I was really inspired by what both of them did, so maybe this will inspire you also to try something and branch out and maybe give your own twist to it. So anyway, I appreciate your watching. I appreciate the following and the likes and the support. It means a whole lot to me and my channel, and I hope to see you next time. You can find prints of my artwork along with my cute little monsters for sale at my Etsy shop, Dust in My Eye, and I would love it if you could check it out. Thanks for watching.